tonight, like Daniel said, we're starting week 2 of our series called Best Choice Ever. And if you weren't here last week, what we spent time talking about, and what I wanted you really to get from last week's message, we looked about God's standards. And we talked about how now matters. And the decisions you make now, they can determine who you become tomorrow. But specifically, we looked at God's standards. And we talked about how sometimes we can feel like God is stuffy and he's full of nothing but rules and regulations that we have to follow. But what I wanted you to take away is God's not a bunch of don't do this and don't do that. God is a, hey, you need to be this. You need to be that. So we looked at that last week. So this week we're going to go a step further. And we're going to talk a little bit more about choosing your adventure. Choosing who you are. Choosing who you're going to become. When you guys walk into a mall, what's one of the first things that you see right there in front of you? When you walk in there and you see this board, what do you find right in front of you when you first walk into the mall? Advertisements. But specifically, it's this big map. Okay? What's on the map? What does it usually show? Shows all the stores. It shows where you are. But what's on there that's like a big red dot or a big yellow star or blue star? You are here. And that's how our life is. We look at that and we say, hey, you're here. When we see that map, yeah, that solidifies it. It's a fact. This is where you stand in the mall. And you use that map to choose where you're going to go. Where do you want to end up? What store are you looking for? What are you trying to shop for? And that's what that map shows. It shows you, hey, this is where you are and this is what you need to do to get here. So when we look at our lives, we look at the same thing. Where do we want to end up? What do we want to end up being? Where do we want to go? What do we want to do with our lives? So when you hear that, choose your own adventure, you're looking at who am I going to be? What am I going to do with the rest of my life? So you have these choices you have to make. So tonight I'm going to give you a quick little activity, and I'm going to let you guys choose your own adventure right now. You get to, I know, get excited. You get to make your own adventure right now. I'm going to give you 3 different things. Each of them having either this or that. Now, this choice you're going to make, you have to choose it. You're stuck with it for life. You can't change it. So when you make this decision, this is the way it is always going to be. There's no changing things. There's no being different. So I'm going to give you 3 different ways that I want you to look at how you want to live your life. Okay? So go ahead and get ready. If you want to write it down, you can. If you want to use these on your friends, you're more than welcome to. So 3 things. First one, would you rather be invisible or would you rather read minds? If you would rather read minds, raise your hand if that's you. I want the ability. You're stuck with this for the rest of your life. You have to read minds. Yeah. If you want to be invisible, raise your hand high. This is you, rest of your life. Come on, some of you in the back, raise your hand. You're stuck with this. Hold on, keep them up. I want everybody, if you want to be invisible, keep your hand up. Everybody who didn't raise their hand, I want you to look around the room. These are your sickos, okay? These are the people that they're sick. They want to be able to walk around. Exactly. They want to be able to walk around when nobody knows what's going on. Parker's waving his hand like, I'm owning it. This is me. So this is coming from the kid that was shooting himself with a red laser in his eyes. So second one, okay? Hopefully I don't offend anybody with this one. Would you rather be filthy rich, but you're ugly? Or would you rather be poor, like dirt poor, but you're really, really good looking? Okay? Now, before you answer that, this isn't like, hey, I'm just going to choose poor and really good looking because I'm just going to end up being a model and I'm going to make my money. No, you're stuck. If you choose poor and you choose handsome, you're stuck with that. Every time somebody gives you money, it disappears. Okay? It's gone forever. There's no way around it. There's no loopholes here, guys. So let's show of hands. If you'd rather be rich but really unattractive, raise your hand. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually raising my hand. That's what I would choose. If you'd rather be poor but you really, really good looking, raise your hand high. There you go. Okay. Last one. Hey guys, you really need to think about this one. All right. This one's mainly for you guys. Would you rather say everything on your mind all the time? If you think it, you got to say it. Or never be able to speak again. What if you say that if you choose that you want to be able to say whatever's on your mind, raise your hand. Guys, this This is to my guys. You got to think about this. When you see a honey that you think's kind of attractive, like, oh, you're hot. I mean, you're totally hot. I mean, you're hot. Oh my gosh, you're hot. Like, you can't get out of your mouth. Girls, you're the same way. That raise your hand, and be like, I really like you. I mean, oh my goodness, oh gosh, I can't stop talking about you. You're so cute. Just think about it. You're gonna have to say those things. Or if you don't like somebody, you'd be like, dude, I don't like you. You're a jerk. All right? You're going to be mean when somebody says, hey, so does this make me look fat? And you're like, yeah, it does. You're stuck saying that. So who says they'd never rather speak again, ever? I don't see how y'all do that. I would choose just to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, and I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to say whatever's on my mind. So those decisions, they're funny, but you can change that. Like I told you not to, but how many of you were like, I'm going to go with that one even after I thought about it? You had the chance. You could change what you want. You could change how you want to answer that question. Some of you had a hard time answering. Let's be honest. Some of you had a hard time choosing. You had to think over. You had to weigh over the fact. Melanie had a hard time. I see. Yep. Those are some tough ones. I mean, those are some really tough ones you got to choose. But the good thing about it, you can change it. You can change that decision right here, right now. Sometimes in life we can't. We make decisions. We choose left when we should have chosen right. And we end up seeing what comes from it. We end up thinking like, man, if only I could change that. If only that I could apply that to my life. If only I could go back when I know what the outcome's going to be because I chose to do this thing that I shouldn't have. You want to be able to change that, but we can't. We can't change where we've been. But what you can do is start choosing today. Start choosing today to change how you want to act, change how you want to talk, change the decisions that you make. School starts tomorrow. I know, everybody. Aww. Some of you don't. Some of you got some college coming up. Woo, woo. You get to get up and wait till like 10 a.m. to go to your first class. Okay. But, that's how mine was. I had like a 10 o'clock class. But tomorrow's and even when you guys start college, tomorrow's a fresh start. Tomorrow's your chance. Tomorrow's your chance to start with a clean slate. Tomorrow's your chance to be somebody different. Okay? Especially if you haven't seen any of your friends since school ended, you get to show up. Some of you got new hairdos, looking all fancy. Yeah, everybody's pointing to Daniel. Looking all fancy. Some of you went shopping yesterday and this past weekend. I can't wait to show off my new shoes. I can't wait to look. But it's a clean slate, right? You get to start new. You get to start fresh. You get to start over. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Pastor Brandon Doss said something this weekend that I thought just held true to school starting this week. And I want you guys to write this down because I want you to apply it to school starting tomorrow. What he said is, don't conform, stand out, and be different. Be the different person. You know what? What if you show up to school tomorrow and people are like, oh, there's that Christian kid. That's the kid that's the kid that always goes to everything at church. That's the kid that he's always going on U trips doing that. So what? Who cares if they call you the Christian kid? You're different. You're standing out. They're seeing that there's something going on in your life that maybe they don't have. Use that tomorrow. Make a choice to start new tomorrow. These choices you make, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. I've made plenty of horrible choices in my life. I told you through this entire series, I'm going to share some of those with you. One of the worst choices I ever made was eating things that I shouldn't. I was that kid, a.k.a. Parker, by the way, because he'll do this if you pay him enough. I was that kid that no matter what, if you paid me enough, I would eat it. I don't care what it was. You could put a hodgepodge of stuff together, and this probably goes through to even now. Because the one time that this bit me in the backside was when I was in college. I finished college. I was in my first job, and the job I had every Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, our boss would take us out. We'd go out to dinner. We just have a time together as a staff, and we'd hang out. And so this one time he took us to Surin. Who's a Surin fan in here? Does anybody like Surin? Raise your hand if you don't know what Surin is. Oh, wow. Surin is like Thai food. It is sushi. It is, yeah, there you go. You hear the word sushi. It's amazing. What comes on a sushi plate typically? It's wasabi. Do what? Wasabi. So we went to Surin, and you got to remember, I was in my first job. Guys, money to me, I mean, anytime somebody offered money, I'm taking it. I wasn't making a lot. I wanted it. I wanted money. And so a couple people had ordered ordered sushi, and it came with a couple of the wasabi balls. They're real small. They're about this size. And so as we start talking about wasabi and how hot it is and how nasty. I was like, I'll eat all the wasabi on the table for $20. And I made the choice. Immediately my boss goes, he pulls 20 out of his wallet and said, I'm game. Do it right now. And so I take everybody's wasabi and I ball it up. And guys, it was probably about yay big. It was a good size of wasabi. And he's getting ready to tell me the rules. Like, hey, you have to do this. You can't drink. I just took it and put it in my mouth and swallowed it. Whole. No chew, no nothing. Swallowed it. And I'm like, $20, where's it at? I'm good. The worst part is I had to work until closing that night because I was the manager. So I had to stay till we closed. Guys, ball of wasabi comes back with a fiery passion. All right? I spent more time in the bathroom than I spent working at the front desk. I felt so sick to my stomach. And all night long, all I thought was that was the worst decision I've ever made. That's probably the last time I've eaten anything for money. Because wasabi, that's no joke. Wasabi's nasty. But maybe you've done that. Maybe you've made decisions about your relationship with God. You've made decisions that put you further away from God. Or maybe you're somebody who's made decisions that put you closer to God. So tonight, what I wanted to do is I wanted to focus on 4 different areas and 4 different categories that I want you to relate yourself to. And I want you to write them down. And I want you to write down each of these areas because at the end of tonight, I'm going to ask you, associate yourself with one of these categories. Which one do you fit in best when it comes to your relationship with God? Where are you in your relationship with God? What is your relationship right now, in this time, in this day? What does your relationship with God look like? How can you relate to it? What can you compare your relationship to? So tonight we're going to look at these, and we're going to base these off these 4 different categories. Now the first category that I want to share with you tonight is called the lost. That lost category. Now, when you see the word lost, what that means is you really don't know. You really don't know who you are. You really have no idea what you stand for. You have no idea what you believe in. You're lost, essentially. You don't know who you as a person are. Now, if you're somebody that associates yourself with the lost, it's about your life. It's not about anybody else's, and it's especially not about God. It's about your life. It's about satisfying your needs. What can I do to make myself happier? What can I do to make myself enjoy this life? What can I do to fill my life with whatever it takes to please me? So when you look at that, that's what it means to be that lost. And when I was thinking about an example, it reminded me of a time that Emily and I had gone to Atlanta. Emily had surprised me. She had bought me with Tampa Bay Buccaneers tickets. I was super excited. For you guys that don't know, Tampa Bay is my team. Do not talk to me while they're on TV. My wife will tell you I'm like focused. And so they were playing the Atlanta Falcons. I was excited. First time I've ever seen them play in person. So we went down early and we kind of were hanging out. We were doing the tourist thing. You know, we were looking at, we were at the Coke place and we were going around looking all around Atlanta. Well, my dad texts me and he says, hey, you guys should go check out Underground Atlanta. It's an awesome place to go. It's a lot of like good shopping. It's in a good part of town. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we got some extra time to kill. We'll go check out Underground Atlanta. So we type it in, we find it. Guys, it was not in a good part of town. Guys, it did not have some good shopping. We went to this place, and it literally is what it says. It is underground. And so it took us forever to find it. We go down. You're literally, it feels like you were in, it's like you're in the sewers. Like, I mean, I can't tell you. It felt like you were going to at least the center of the earth. You felt like you went down so far into the underground Atlanta. And so down there, I swear I saw drug deals going on. I swear I saw people like stealing stuff. I mean, to me in my mind, I'm not making this stuff up, but I swear I saw these things. Emily was even like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, do you really want to go to the bathroom here? This probably is not a safe place to go. So she's in the bathroom. Some guy's standing there and he goes, what up, dog? What you doing down here? And I'm like, I'm just, doing some shopping. And he's talking to me about Emily in the bathroom. He's like, man, I'll tell you what, man, our girls, they take forever in the bathroom, don't they? And I'm like, yeah, she's got to go. So, and he's like, every time my girl got to go to the bathroom, she in there all night long. I don't know why she. And he's just talking to me about this, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, babe, please hurry up. And so I'm waiting to go. So we get done, and then we come out to a side of town that we have no idea where it is, and it just so happens it's starting to get dark, and we're just lost. We're lost downtown. I have no idea how to get back to our hotel. We're in a place that's supposed to be a good part of town, which it was not, and we were lost. We were lost where we were. But that's how you relate yourself to your life. Maybe you're lost. Maybe you know how you got there, but you have no idea how to get back to where you were. You're lost in where you are in your life. A couple of examples that you might relate to that let you know, hey, this is me. I am in this category. Maybe you're one of these people that has to always have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You have to have that. You have to have somebody that has that attraction to you. Somebody that has to talk to you at all times. And when it goes south, when it doesn't work out, you immediately cling to the next person you find. You find somebody because if you feel like they give you self-worth. You feel like that person allows me to be who I am. I'm in the company of somebody at all times, and you feel like they make you whole. They make you who you are. Maybe you're one of these people that you have an addiction. Maybe it's to drugs. Maybe it's to alcohol. Maybe you're addicted to looking at things that you shouldn't, but you do it because it allows you to escape the pain that you have. Maybe you don't know who you are, and so you use it. You use it as an escape because it's something that keeps you away from feeling hurt and feeling painful, feeling that depression. It covers it. Maybe you're one of these people that loves going to parties. It fills you up. When you're there and you're the one that's the life of the party, you're the one that's holding the mic, you're the one that everybody's watching, you're the one that everybody wants to talk to, and you're just as excitement. It fills you up because that's you, because you don't know who you are. You're just grabbing at things. You're trying to find whatever it is in your life that can help fill that lost. I wrote this down, and what I wrote was, the lost don't know who they are, and they don't care about God. They live moment to moment to satisfy every need that they have. That's who the lost are. But you want to know the problem with the lost? If this is your category, you want to know what that issue is when that thing ends, that thing that you're stuck to, whether it's addictions, parties, boyfriends, girlfriends, just being around somebody, when that's gone, you found yourself right back at the start. Because that thing's gone. It's not there anymore. It's not there to fill the hole that you have in your life. You feel yourself being empty and alone. Luke chapter 19 verse 10 says, "For the Son of Man came to save the lost." I made sure to underline that you see. It says that he came to save the lost. What that means is, if this is your category, if this is where you think right now, hey, I associate myself with this is where I am, you need to know that Jesus is willing to come and meet you where you are. He's willing to help cover those struggles, cover those pains that you have, those addictions, those things that you use in your daily life to cover the way that you feel. He'll come no matter where you are in your life. He's ready. He will come and seek you where you are. So is the lost, is that your category? If it's not, the next one I have for you I called the seeker. Now the seeker is somebody, they're not quite sure. They're looking for things. They're not really sure what they believe. Though they believe something. It's not like the lost where they have no idea. They have some type of belief. They understand right from wrong. They understand what's true and what's false. And you know, they may not understand who God is, but they're open to a spiritual experience. That means that maybe they'll come with you on a Tuesday night. You invite them, they're open to it. Yeah, I'll come check it out. Or, you know, church on a Sunday or a Wednesday, they're open to it. They're open to come to any type of spiritual experience that they have because they're looking. How many of you guys have ever heard of geocaching? Anybody? Geocaching. What is it? Daniel, what's geocaching?
You go and find all those little geocaches and you open them up and you see little prizes.
Exactly. It's an app, or you can find online exactly what Daniel said. It's this app that you can use, and it's almost like you go looking for something, and you can find, they even rate them about how hard it is to find it based on if you have to hike, you know, high hills or mountains, or if it's hidden well. What it is stuff that people have put around the city, and you have no idea what it is. You could show up, and all it is some little like the old school camera rolls that you pop open and it says, "Hey, you found the spot." And that's all it is. It could be something like, "Hey, sign this, that you showed up at, you made it." It could be something. You have no idea what it is, but it's just something for you to go look for. This is exactly what the seeker is. It has no idea what it's looking for. It has no idea what it's trying to find, but it knows, hey, there's something at the end. It knows that there's something there, but it doesn't know exactly what it is. They may believe in God. They may believe that there is a God, but they can't describe him. They also can't describe the relationship, if they even have one, with him. They can't describe who he really is. If this is your category, if you fit into the seeker, I want you to check out this verse. It's Matthew chapter 7, and we're going to look at verses 7 and 8. It says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be open." If you find yourself in this category, if you find yourself looking for something right now, just trying to seek at it, know that God promises he will seek you out. He will seek you out, and he will find you exactly where you are. Do you associate yourself with the lost? Do you associate yourself with the seeker? Or maybe you associate yourself with what I call the comfortable. How many of you guys have seen the movie WALL-E? Be honest, everybody's seen that movie. It's a very good, exactly. It's a great movie. I've seen it myself. So WALL-E is this little robot. Earth is destroyed. It's got trash all over it. All he does is clean up. That's all he does his entire life. And there's all these other robots that are looking for signs of life. But in the movie, when he gets to the ship, what are the adults? What are they? They're all in wheelchairs. They're overweight because they are comfortable. Look at that. Give that boy a gold star. Look at that. They're comfortable because they're lazy. So they sit there and they sit in these little bitty like egg pods, and they drink their like 40-ounce bottles of Coke, and they have these little screens in front of them. But their life is comfortable. They've adapted because they live in a comfortable lifestyle. Their body's adapted to it. That's why they're overweight. That's why they can't get up. They can't walk. They've lived their life in this comfortable state. I want you to write this down about being comfortable. The comfortable claim to be Christian, but nothing in their lives resembles that. They claim to be Christians, but nothing in their lives shows that they are, because they're comfortable with where they are in their lives. And it's a dangerous place to be. It's dangerous to be in this comfortable zone. And I want to tell you why. School starts tomorrow, and I've told you, who are you going to be? Who are you going to be to the friends you see? Are you going to be the light in a dark world? Are you going to be the person that stands out, that you don't conform? Or are you going to be that Christian that's comfortable? Here's the problem with that. If you're that Christian that's comfortable, your outside friends, they see that. And they compare themselves to you. They say, wait, that person, he claims to be a Christian. He claims to live that way. He claims to act that way, but we look the same. We have the exact same lifestyle, so why would I want that? Why would I want to be a Christian if I can keep living the way that I am? Because when you're comfortable, you live in that. You claim to live God. You claim to love God. You claim to do everything you can to be God. But people see anything but that. Revelation chapter 3, verse 15 to 16. I really want you to write this verse down because it's a powerful verse where it talks about being comfortable. I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. And this is the part I want you to underline. If you have your Bible app or your Bible with you, underline this verse right here. So because you are lukewarm, underline that word, lukewarm. That means neither hot nor cold. I will spit you out of my mouth. See, the difference between cold and hot, guys, is they have a purpose. You use hot water to boil water so you can drink it. You use hot water to cook food. Use hot water to clean dishes. Use hot water for almost anything there is to make tea, to make coffee. You use cold water to drink. Some of you take cold showers. Some of you have cold water to wash your clothes. There's a purpose for cold water. There's a purpose for hot, but guess what? There's no purpose for lukewarm. You're not going to drink lukewarm water. Lukewarm water is not going to kill bacteria in it so you can drink it. Lukewarm water is going to do nothing. It's just nasty. It's just water that nobody wants. Being lukewarm means you're comfortable. Stop being comfortable. Stop living a life that you want to be comfortable in everything you do. Guys, being a Christian isn't comfortable. Being a Christian means you live a life where people look at you different. It means living a life where people do judge what you do because they feel like, hey, why are they judging me? It's a hard life, but it has a meaningful life. It has a meaning in the end. Don't live a comfortable life. If you're wondering if this is you, there's a few warning signs to know that you are in this comfortable place. One of them is if you put everything in your life before God, that means you're comfortable. If you choose not to go to churches on Sundays and learn and grow or be a part of any type of small group or Bible studies and put God first so you can get to know who he is, or even do your devotions at home so you can know God, you're putting everything before him. Maybe you choose to go with your friends instead of going somewhere. You choose to go out of town instead of going to church. You choose all these things because you put them before God. Because you're comfortable. You're saying, hey, I believe. I know who God is, so I can continue to live this way. So are you the lost? Are you the seeker? Are you the comfortable? Or are you the passionate? Guys, the passionate, that's where you want to be at. Man, people that are passionate, they love God with every inch of their body. They love God with everything they have. When people see the passionate, there's no wondering if they're Christian. There's no, hey, is that person really who they say they are? They see it every day. You are the light in the darkness. You are the light in a school that maybe doesn't believe in God. You're that person that no matter what goes on in your life, you choose to follow God. You're that person that when you hear people ask what you want to be, you say and you look, where does God want me to go? You're that person that you've been given gifts. Maybe it's you're good with media, or you're good at speaking publicly, or you're good at music, but you choose not to use it. But you use it for God. That means you're passionate about God. That means you love who God is. That's somebody that they see it and they know that person loves God. A man by the name of John Piper said this: God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in him. Mark chapter 10, verse 45, for even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. To give his life for a ransom for many. Those people know that Jesus didn't come on this earth to be served. Jesus came to this earth to serve us, to serve others, what God put him on this earth for. That quote that I read from John Piper, what that means is that you're connected to God on a daily basis. People see it. They can tell that you're connected because you're glorified in him. And when you're glorified in him, God's glorified in us. So tomorrow's a big day, guys. Next week's a big day for those of you who are starting college. Those of you starting school tomorrow. What are you going to associate yourself with? In these 4 different categories, where do you fall in line? How are you going to choose to spend this school year? How are you going to choose to affect the other students that are around you? Doesn't matter if it's high school, doesn't matter if it's middle school, doesn't matter if it's college. What are you going to do this year? What are you going to do that's different? What are you going to do to set yourself apart so when people see you, they say, hey, you are different? You say, hey, that's that Christian kid. And you're like, yeah, it is. But you know what? Because you call me that, you see there's something different in my life. So which group are you going to put yourself into? I want you guys to bow your head for me tonight. While your heads are bowed, those of you watching online as well, I want you to categorize yourself in one of these areas. I want you to spend time right now praying. If you don't know which category you're in, that probably means you're closer to the lost and the seeker side. If you're in that category, if you're in that comfortable category, you have a relationship with God, but you don't live it daily, I want you right now to accept a challenge from me, to use it tomorrow, to use it next week, whenever you start school. I want you to challenge to stop being comfortable. If you're willing to make that commitment, if that's you, if you're like, hey, that is where I fall, I want you guys just to raise your hand for me, because I want to spend this week praying for you. If that's you, if you're the comfortable, God sees you admit, hey, it's me. I'm tired of being that. I want to speak to the others in this room that maybe they fit in that lost and that seeker category. You have no idea what you believe. You have no idea who you are. You have no idea what you're looking for, but you know there's something. You're looking for something. Maybe today you feel God tugging at your heart. Maybe you feel God saying, hey, I'm here. Just open your life to me. God's saying there's no special steps. There's no special words. It's just talking to me. Having a relationship with me. Commit this day to be the passionate. To be the one that chases after God, that allows God to change their life. That if you have a gift, if you have a talent, that you're going to use it to follow Christ. If you're ready to make that commitment, online, if you're ready to make that commitment, and I want you guys to put your hand up for me today. Show I'm ready to live a life with Christ. God, we thank you for these students that are here tonight. We know they have a lot weighing on their heart. Tomorrow and next week, it's a big deal in a lot of lives in this room. And God, I pray that those students that start school tomorrow, that they start on the right foot. I pray that those that made the decision that, hey, I'm going to be the comfortable one. I don't want to be in that. That's who I am, and I don't want to follow that. God, I pray that tomorrow, when they go to school, they change their life. They make their own choices. They choose their own adventure. And God, I pray for those in this room that made that decision that I want to be passionate. I want to have a relationship with you. I want to jump all the way from the lost, all the way to the passionate. And God, I pray that you keep that on their heart all school year long. That they're the light in a dark school. That they're the ones that reach out to those students that are lost and that are seeking, because they know who you are and they're there to show others. God, we love you. We thank you for the work that you're going to do in these students' lives this year. And we thank you for the work that you've done in their lives over these past few months. In your blessed name we pray. Amen.